So this is just a quick video to show you how to create a chart or a visualization in Microsoft Excel and how to put that into a Word document. So on the left here, I have an Excel document with some test data, sample data, and on the right, I have a Microsoft Word document. So, you might have stuff already in here, and, I might have my title. Sorry, can't type. We'll probably make this a little bigger. So here's my title, point one, a point here, whatever. And maybe I want to put my chart, maybe this is actually question one. We'll just call this question one if we're answering some questions for the class or whatnot. So we'll call this question one, and we'll call this question two. And then we might have a conclusion at the end. So if I were to, create a chart, maybe I want to answer question one. So, I might put the answer is that they equally favored every color. And I want to prove that statement using some real data. So maybe I use Excel, and I have here four different colors, and they all favored them. A quarter of them each favored each individual color respectively. So maybe I want to make a chart of this because it just looks nicer. So I'm going to make a pie chart. So here's my pie chart, and as you can imagine, they're all equal here. So of course, they're all going to be equal here. Now I want to get this chart into Microsoft Word. The way that I do that is I typically like to say select in the white area of the chart, and that way you get everything, including the legend on the bottom. And the titles and whatnot. So maybe I want to change the title of this. Maybe I want to change the title to something else. I can double click on the title. And I can say, instead of the number sign or pound sign, I could say number of people who favored. And that way, it's a little bit more clear who favored each color. And now you can see it's going off the screen, but I can actually wait for my cursor to sort of change to this crosshairs with the arrows in it, and I can drag this to wherever I need it. And then if you noticed when I double clicked on there that this chart title window here or menu bar came up, and you can see here that there's options. There's options for the title itself, and then there's options for the text. And if I click on the text, you can see that I can choose different fills, font sizes, any kind of effects I want to put on there, and the text box itself. And here you can make all kinds of, you need to really kind of play around with this to really get a sense for how all of these different things work. I'm not going to go through each individual one, but if you wanted to change the size of the font, you can just use the, go back to the Home tab here, and you can actually use this font bigger or decrease or increase the font size. And I'm going to decrease it, and as you can see, every time I click it, it goes down some fixed set of points, and then I can center this in my chart and do whatever. I can change the color of the text. I can make it red. I can also go down here to the legend, and as you can see, it changed to format legend. And whatever it is I end up doing, I can just apply it here. And so when I'm done making all the changes, I want to make sure that everything in this chart is selected. So what I like to do is put my cursor in a cell so that it forces everything to be deselected. And then I go to a white space up near a corner somewhere where there's not like a title or a legend or the chart itself. Because if I click in the chart itself, you can see that this gets highlighted, the little pieces of the chart get highlighted, but I actually want to make sure that I get the whole thing. So I'm going to click out here, and you can see only the outermost edges of this chart are selected. And now I can copy, and I just right click, select copy, and then go to wherever in the Microsoft Word document I want to place that chart, and I can right click and I can say paste. Now, there's options for pasting. One is if you hover over, they say what the options are, but you can choose whatever the theme. If you're using a theme in Microsoft Word, you can choose to match the theme that you've already selected, or you can keep the source formatting, which is basically whatever it was in Excel, or you can actually there's an option here, the last option, which is you can put it in as a picture. I typically put it in as a picture just because it's a little bit easier to manage when you do it this way. And now that I have it in there, if I click on it, you can see that I get some dots around the perimeter, and I can resize this just by clicking and dragging on that image or on that dot to get it to whatever size I want. So I can do that, as well as I can, if you see this little square on the top right corner, I can actually tell it how I want the text around it to be treated. So I could make this a background. I could have, the text go right over this. So if I select that, you can see that the question and the conclusion now get, put up. And as I move this around, it's actually part of the background. Or I can change that. Typically what I use is top and bottom, which is right here. And that way, you can make sure that there's no text running into the graphic. So that's just a quick and easy way to get images from Excel into Microsoft Word.